We are asking a lot of questions so far, but now we get down to the nitty gritty question because here is where things get a little bit messy. So, I want to go back over here, of course, one more time because as you see here, this is says Drake's missing laptop. It's a highly durable and highly secure laptop. Okay, so that laptop, if we're thinking about, of course, what happened with Diddy, right? If we remember close what happened with Diddy, it was said to be that Diddy had a lot of security surveillance tapes. He had a lot of incriminating information, and he had a lot of USB information and a lot of tapes and a lot of video footage, right? So if I were one to keep a lot of video footage of, high profile people or video footage of incriminating things of myself even, where would I hide it? I would hide it on one of these, as they say, tough books, which that is what Drake owns. So, saying that Drake has a laptop that is called a tough book, right? So, interesting enough, tough books, if you guys don't know, tough books are pretty damn solid. In fact, they are said to be military graded. Okay? If you see here, the same exact Panasonic tough book is right here. So that already, I was going to bring up Mr. King Jared's his tweet about him trying to say that it's true Drake did give Kendrick the information. No, he did not. Because if you look here, he tried to discredit the fact that the laptop seen in the video footage was just a Panasonic. But as you see here, Panasonic is the main uh, manufacturer for fucking tough books. So, Panasonic tough books, once again, if you don't know, are usually for military. And a lot of times you'll also see military carrying these same exact laptops. Or should I say, working off of these same exact Panasonic laptops. Now, these laptops, of course, have a lot of secret information on them. That is why, like I said, they are military graded laptops. So, which begs the question again, why the fuck does Drake have a military graded laptop with him? I believe we have an answer. Or should I say a couple? Because now we move forward to, unfortunately, the worst part of this. I'm going to show you here now, back in the excerpt of the board, where you can see Drake's dad is hugged up with a younger woman. Shout out to all 86 people that are in here now. I appreciate all of you. Love you guys. Um, as you see here, Dennis Graham is with a young woman. But as we look over here, it also says his Instagram. And that he's following a young woman named Aya. Okay? Now, took it upon the liberty myself to look up who this Aya was. And my. This is where things get very, very, very rough. I'm going to show you guys who Aya is. Look closely at the picture here. At the square. Because you're going to see the same exact profile and checkmark and icon on this young lady's Instagram. Now, for the young audience that might be watching, you might know her. She's an actual TikTok influencer. Now, what was very interesting about this was that this is a hotel lobby here that she's seen leaving. Now, of course, looking at the reverse of these floors here, you might be able to tell where she is if you've been paying attention. But why is she there at that hotel? Hmm. Now, what is bad about this and her being at that hotel is that Aya is 17 years old. She was born in 2007. She's a TikTok personality. So now you have to ask yourselves, why is Dennis Graham, Drake's father, following a 17-year-old? Here's where things get even worse. Things get a lot worse from here. This, I just want to alarm anyone from that might be triggered by this next video.
Wait, they said Drake dad follow you?
We do.
Be honest, what do you think about the Drake allegations?
Yes, speak on it.
Would you let
I can't speak on that. That was alarming enough.
That's
Drake would you let Drake like you?
that's that'll be something I can't confess.
Something I can't confess. And as you see, she caught herself as soon as she said that. That would be something that I cannot confess. You clearly heard Dabo ask, would you let Drake fuck you? And she said that would be something that I cannot confess. And she quickly caught herself. As you can see what hotel she just posted herself at. On top of Dennis Graham, his father, following her.
May not confess, something I can't talk about.
Something I can't talk about. Why can't you talk about something that he just literally asked you in figmentation of? He said, would you let Drake fuck you? He didn't say, did you let Drake fuck you? He said, would you? And she's flabbergasted and confused and pretty much trying to, you know, hey, oh, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened. He's not asking if anything did happen. He's asking, would you?
Because that'll be in the court.
Because that would be in the court. Dabo was just simply asking, would you let Drake fuck you? And she went full on witness protection. Yeah, I'm just as shocked, my brother. I am just as shocked as you are right now at what we just heard. And for those that were just now tuning in, this is 17-year-old Aya.
They said Drake dad follow you?
We do.
Be honest, what do you think about the Drake allegations?
Yes, speak on it.
Would you let
That's
Drake would you let Drake like you?
that's that'll be something I can't confess. I mean, not confess, something I can't talk about because dad'll be in the court.
The court. Drake.
Poor 17-year-old Aya has no idea what she just said. And Dabo caught every bit of it.
What?
You're a
What?
victim?
No, of course not.
Wait, so what you said about the why you said it'll be in the court?
Because that'll be something
Oh, you can't speak about it right now?
that I can't speak about. Yeah.
So when she says that, the only thing I can think about is the fact that Kendrick Lamar also referenced, if you don't remember, in Meet the Grams. Remember in Meet the Grams where he specifically referenced the embassy? Him and Weinstein should get fucked up in a cell for the rest of their life. He hates black women, hypersexualizes with kinks of a nympho fetish, grew facial hair because he understood being a bear just fits him better. He got sex offenders on Hovio that keep on a monthly allowance. He's talking about Baca right there. A child should never be compromised, and he keeping his child around him. And we gotta raise our daughters knowing there are predators like him lurking. Fuck a rap battle. He should die so all these women can live with a purpose. I've been in this industry 12 years. I'ma tell y'all one little secret. It's some weird shit going on, and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streamlining victims all inside of their home, calling them tender, then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas. Now here's where it gets worse. To any woman that be playing his music knowing that you're playing your little sister, or better, you're selling your niece to the weirdos, not the good ones. Talking about little Aya here. Cat Williams said, get you the truth, so I'm gonna get mines." The embassy is about to get raided too. It's only a matter of time. The embassy is about to get raided. It's only a matter of time. If you guys don't remember, Drake literally calls his mansion the embassy. Kendrick was trying to tell us that Drake is about to get a Diddy like raid soon. And it seems to be it for his involvement with the Epstein. Even worse, it's going to definitely be involving his shell corporations. Now, before we uh, before we finish off the clipboard, I want to go into that picture that you guys just saw as well. Because here's where it gets even nastier. As you see here, there's a picture that says, in 2019, POV in 2019, you think you're going to Drake's party, but you get Dennis instead. So there was an actual video that went out of this. I'll show you guys here. Like I said, this is where things get very, very disturbing, if you ask me. Look here. POV 2019, you think you're going to Drake's party. Instead,
in 2019, you think you're going to Drake's party, but get Dennis instead.
look at Mr. Dennis here. Look at Mr. Dennis G here, all hugged up on the young one here. She look about 18, 19. And we all know Dennis is up there in what, about 60, 70? Right? Of course, the young lady looks very uncomfortable and just, pushes him off. But that would not be the first time that this actually happened.
And it ended up being a party at his dad's house. Get ready with me while Roy tell the story of the time that I thought I was going to an after party at Drake's, and it ended up being a party at his dad's house. So this was back in 2019. I would like to preface that I was an adult. I was 22 years old. My friends and I are not from LA. We went down and we were able to get like a table at one of like a larger club down in LA. Had fun. And then one of my friends ended up meeting some guy who was like, hey, we like your vibes. Again, we're like not from LA, so this is not like a normal situation from us. And we're like, oh my gosh, how cool. He's like, so there's an after party happening at Drake's house. Like, do you and your friends want to go? And we're like, obviously, like that, yeah. Again, this is like not our normal scenes. We're like, for sure. One thing to note was that it was literally being televised that he was at some like basketball game in Canada, but we were like, he has a private plane. He can fly here quickly. Like, that's what's happening. So while we were in line, there was some like random like crazy man that was trying to like talk to us and was being real weird. And there was this private security guard who was helping like some celebrity who was there. And his name was Big Money. And Big Money, I know you follow me still. I love you so much. And he was like, hey, back up. And like was so sweet to us and was like very kind and protecting. But then was like, hey, let me get your number and like text me wherever you're going so I know that you're like getting there safe. Because we were clearly like not a part of this scene. Like this was like not our normal scenario that we're in. So our Uber pulls up and we pretty immediately are like, oh, Drake is not going to be at this party. There were like 15 people there. It was not super busy at all. And we're greeted by, it felt like out of a movie. It was this weird, creepy ass butler who was like probably even older than Dennis. Weird vibes. And they just kept like randomly like stopping and then like dancing and then continuing on with conversation. So just Dennis was there, which again, still not from this like area. I'm like, still pretty cool. Like, all right, like for the plot, let's see where this goes. Also, I'd like to preface that like, I'm not a victim. I just thought it was a crazy story. It was a very weird and like uncomfortable situation, but like once it got to the point where I was like, this is too much, me and my friends left. So we were really only there for like maybe 20 minutes. While we're there, he's just being super like handsy and weird. He said some like really strange comments, which that's kind of what started leading us to be like, okay, this guy's odd. And like clearly Drake's not coming. So, like, we feel like we saw what we needed to see and we're ready to go. One weird thing is there were photos of Drake everywhere. Like, his entire wall is just like memorabilia of Drake, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, basically just like a weird, creepy old dude with his weird, creepy old butler. So we, after 20 minutes, are like, let's go. This is weird. There's like also not enough of us here for us to feel like super comfy. So we tried to call an Uber, but he lives like way up in the Hollywood Hills, and there was like a security guard at the beginning of the neighborhood, and they're like, oh, the security guard won't let us in. He's like, no joke, like a mile and a half up this road. And we're like, what the fuck? So we literally had to walk in the pitch black to get to our Uber because the security guard wouldn't be like letting our Uber in. No streetlights at all. So we're walking, a group of, I think it was like 5 of us girls. And then all of a sudden we're walking and we see a car coming up from behind us, and it slows down, and it's the fucking butler. I don't know if I can cuss on here. And he's like, hey girls, you want to get in the car? Like, let me give you a ride. And we're like, no, thank you. And we like start.
She got followed. She got followed by the creepy butler dude.
Running. This happens like 2 more times. He keeps like making his laps, and like we're the only ones walking on the street. Pitch black. So scary. Then all of a sudden we see a figure walking behind us, and we're like, what? Like, what is that? So we start speeding up because we're like, that's so scary. Then the figure starts speeding up. We start running. The figure behind us starts running. So finally one of my friends just stops and yells like, what's your problem? And we just hear this like sweet girl's voice, and she's like, I'm so sorry, like I was there and I was like getting kind of scared and freaked out. My friends didn't want to leave, so like I left. So it was just this girl walking down the street by herself, and she was trying to like keep up with another group of girls to like feel safe. And then we were like running.
You heard her say a little girl though, right? Clearly the girl wasn't 22. The one that was trying to catch up to her. She said it was a little girl that was at the place. Ooh.
Away from her. So obviously she joined our group, and we made sure that she got home safe. But yeah, that's really it. He was an odd dude and was saying weird things. I'm not going to get into it just because I'm like, I don't know what. I don't know. I'm like a little scared. But like nothing bad happened. I'm not a victim. It was just a crazy story. And it's like one of my favorite fun facts to be like, I peed in Dennis Graham's toilet. So, yeah. And then next time we went to LA, which was like only the second time we were out, saw Dennis again. So I think this is just kind of like his thing. And we were talking to someone about it, and they're like, oh yeah, no, you never go to a party at Dennis's house. So I think it's just kind of like an LA thing that we were just not aware of. But yeah.
An LA thing that we were not aware of. You heard that? Apparently it's a LA thing that you don't go to Dennis' house. Someone told her that. It's a thing. It's a known thing in LA that you don't go to Denny's house, as if Dennis is Diddy or something. Lord have mercy. The apple don't fall far from the motherfucking tree. And then him here with this dog mask. And the main thing I keep thinking of the dog mask, I haven't brought it up yet. The main thing I think about the dog mask is masquerade masks. If you don't know masquerade masks are usually used. If you remember the movie Silence of the Lamb, not Silence of the Lamb, excuse me, Eyes Wide Shut. In the movie Eyes Wide Shut, they had a ball. Now, it was also, remember, they were in a secret society in Eyes Wide Shut. The couple was in a secret society with amongst other couples that were in the secret society as well. The movie was basically about the damn Illuminati. But what was in the movie was balls where they wore masquerade masks. And when I see Drake with this damn mask on, I think of masquerade masks and secret societies. And the first thing I think about with secret societies is his agency, Omerta, that is about silency and keeping secrecy of oath. And then you have the nerve to have a shell corporation also named Silence Policies. Drake, what the fuck you got going on with you over there?